Good evening, Bristol sports fans. Welcome to the Vinny and Bob Show. My name is Bob Fiorito.
And I'm Vinny Guarda.
How was your Thanksgiving, Vinny?
Pretty good, pretty good. Lots of food, lots of football, lots of family. So the weekend went really well. How about you?
It was great. We had family in and had great food. My sister-in-law cooks, so I take this holiday off. So it's always good when you can go somewhere else and have somebody feed you.
Definitely,
But
definitely.
what a game we had on Thursday. It's got to be one of the classic Thanksgiving morning battles between Eastern and Central.
Yeah, man, the fans were awesome. The place was jam packed. The weather was really, very good for a November end of November day, and the game was excellent. Both teams fought really hard. It went down to the wire, went to overtime, and couldn't ask for a better day for the teams and for the town.
Yeah, the both teams showed a lot of pride. In the first half, Bristol Central struck first with Gabe Boulette and running back Jaden Glassberg getting the ball downfield and scoring first. And it looked like they moved the ball pretty easy early. But Eastern came right back. Um, Jacob Kingsley, he stepped in front of a pass, one of the passes, and intercepted it. Got the Eastern Lancers right down in good field position, and Trevin Guadarrama guided the offense down with Lincoln Bashaw capping it off with a 2-yard run, and we tied the score at 6 at halftime.
Yeah, Central did a nice job early running the ball. Gabe Ouellette's had a fantastic season. I think he's somewhere close to about 1,500 yards rushing. Glasper runs really hard, and he had some nice runs. So Central jumped out quick, but, that was a key interception by Kingsley because Central was driving. And I think he returned the ball, 50, 60 yards to set up their touchdown. So 6-6 at half. Both teams were playing really hard, playing really good defense, and it was a fun first half to watch.
Absolutely. And then in the second half was pretty much a defensive struggle, but actually both teams did have a shot. Guadarrama threw a pass in the corner of the end zone to Bryce Bagcoat, which went off his fingertips. And I was down there. That would have been a good touchdown. That would have been a great play just out of his reach. And then Bristol Central brought the ball back down and were on a 2-yard line or 3-yard line, and their field goal got blocked. So both teams had good shots to win the game late in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, it was exciting. Like I said, both teams had a chance to win in regulation. They both teams played hard. The defenses really stepped up. The offenses just couldn't get a lot of things going on that day.
Yep. Now that puts us into overtime, and how the overtime works with high school football in Connecticut is each team gets the ball on the 10-yard line and has 4 downs to get it in. If both teams score, then they have the extra point try. And once one team, wins, the game's over. So Central got the ball first, and Gabe Boulette punched the ball in on a 5-yard run. That was a big time event, big time play for the senior quarterback.
Yeah, junior quarterback, and he's
Oh, junior.
that was a big score. They went ahead. They couldn't get the 2-point conversion, but Eastern had a shot to come back and tie it or win it as well in their next possession.
Yeah, that's they had their 4 shots, and Bashaw tried to get in on the first possession, but then Central's Aiden Rodriguez came up with a big defensive stand with an interception of a Guadarrama pass, and that ended it. Central won the game 12-6.
Yeah, it was heartbreaking for Eastern. Again, both teams should be very proud. They both played well. They both played hard. It was a good, hard fought high school football game.
And for sure, and that marks Central's 10th straight win. Um, but credit Eastern. It was one of their the toughest, most inspired games I saw them play all year, and it was truly a battle and a great game to watch.
Yes, I really enjoyed the game. Like I said, some kids really stuck out. I mean, like I said, Gabe Ouellette had a fantastic year. I think he ran for about 200 yards in this game. completed a couple of passes. Glasper, like I said, ran really hard, was tough on defense, and a lot of kids stepped up for Central.
Yep, and for Eastern, obviously, Jacob Kinsley, um, he played top. He was Eastern's defensive player of the game. Um, but also you can't forget Lincoln Bashaw. He carried that team all year. He was their offensive player in the game, along with guys like, of course, Guadarrama, the quarterback. He led the offense all year. Noah Albert, Aiden Davies, a couple other guys locked down the defense. So they did have a great year.
Yeah, I like Jacob Kingsley. He did a great job punting too. What a foot he has, and they
Yeah,
they almost got a fake punt in on a throw to Noah Albert. I love how Lincoln Bashaw runs. He's just a hard nosed, tough kid, and he puts his head down, and he's like a bull in a china shop. I mean, he played really well. Noah Albert's been playing well all year. Again, they've had some good solid play from a lot of these kids.
and on the Central side, Gabe Boulette was the Thomas Monahan Offensive Player of the game, and Aiden Rodriguez was their Defensive Player of the game, coming up with that big stop in overtime.
Yeah, they had some kids that really played well. Quincy Lawson played pretty well up front on defense. Cameron Nieves, a few other kids, Chris Torres, they played well. It was a good hard fought battle on both sides. Both teams should be proud, like I said.
Yep, and that draws the final game for the fall season, and winter's season starts this week. I think the girls start tomorrow, right?
Yeah, girls start tomorrow. Eastern Sentinel and St. Paul should have pretty good teams. The boys basketball team starts on Thursday for all three schools. Wrestling starts on Monday for all three schools as well. And I'm not sure about indoor track, or boys swimming when they start, but they should be sometime this week as
Yeah,
well.
I think they're Thursday, if I remember right. And of course, we're going to take next week off, as there won't be any games this week. So there won't be a lot of us for us to report on the Vinny and Bob show. However, we will be doing a lot of stuff in the background, lining up coach interviews, and News with Nico will start lining up those interviews with team captains. So there's a lot of stuff that's going to go on, but we'll take the Vinny and Bob show off a week off, and we'll be back here in a couple weeks, getting the highlights ready for this season.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to getting the information from the winter coaches. Getting get some interviews lined up and starting it back up again in the winter. Should be a fun winter season. We should have some pretty good teams out there. It's just going to be fun to cover and report the scores and the highlights from all of our teams in town.
Absolutely. So, Vinny, I'm going to let you go now, and we're going to get back to work with the interviews, and I will talk to you during the week.
Sounds good, Bob. Have a good weekend, and we'll talk to you soon.
Okay. Thanks, pal.
All right, thanks.
Bye.